Daughter gets cheated on and finds out she is an affair child. I don't know where to start. About 25 years ago, I, 50F, had an affair with my husband, 55M. He was married to Mary when we started this affair. She was 28 then. I got pregnant due to the affair. I told my husband, and he and his wife got a divorce. It was painful for everyone. We both got married when our daughter, Anna, was 2. We even went to couples counseling to solve our issues. We are both guilty of what we have done. I know what we did was wrong. We have suffered a lot emotionally and mentally, but we worked hard to make our marriage work. Our daughter, Anna, got married when she was 23. After 10 months into their marriage, she came crying to me saying she caught her husband in bed with someone else. My daughter was really devastated. She didn't eat or sleep properly. I once found that she had pills with her to end herself. She was able to get a divorce. She moved in with us. We helped her with everything: therapy, a place to live, find her a job. She is doing fine now. But she is still jilted by her husband's affair because she was with him since she was 16. During those times my daughter was suffering, my mind went on flashback. I was once the homewrecker. I had an affair with a married man. Maybe Mary had to go through the same pain like my daughter did. If not more, because my husband was married to her for quite some time. That guilt started to surface. Every time I look at my daughter, I see Mary and couldn't help but wonder that I am the bad guy. I tried everything. I went to therapy myself and tried to console myself that it is okay. It was 25 years ago. Surely my husband noticed that something was really off about me. He asked what was wrong. I told him that I wrecked his first marriage. I got pregnant with Anna, and that is why you left your first wife. I cannot carry this guilt in me forever. My husband and I talked about it for a while. Unfortunately, Anna was eavesdropping, because after a few days she came to me and asked if she was an affair child. She told me she heard his dad and me talking about her dad's affair and how she was the result of our affair. I had to come clean. She kept screaming at me with vile words like I am a homewrecker. She hates that she is a product of cheat and lie. She even charged at her dad and called him a disgusting cheater. She left the house and cut off contact. She went to her aunt's house, my husband's sister. Sil and Mary were close, that's why she never liked me. She only tolerated my existence for my daughter. We went to Sil's house. Our daughter was still not talking to us. Sil told my daughter everything. My husband argued. Sil told us that she did promise that she will not intentionally tell Anna everything, but if she ever asks, she will not lie to her. She kept her promise and didn't lie because my daughter asked for more details. My daughter doesn't want to talk to us. I learned from Sil that Anna managed to track down Mary and she found out she is living in the same town as us. Mary remarried someone else and had kids. I don't understand why my daughter wants to meet that woman. I told her it was a bad idea and she only said, a homewrecker like you wouldn't understand what I am going through. I am still in distress. My husband is also very upset. I don't know what to do. I am guilty of what I did. But I do not wish that upon anyone. I want to fix things between me and my daughter. Please help a mother out. Edit. I know I am getting a lot of hate. I know I cannot turn back time and fix everything that I have done. I just don't want my daughter to feel like she is a product of lie. She is a product of our love. I know the start of our love was wrong, but after that we did everything right. I know I am the bad guys and should be punished. But I don't want my daughter to bear it. Comments from OOP. After the divorce, Mary cut off contact with everyone that was mutual to my husband and her. She even cut off Sil. TBH, at that time I was dealing with a lot. I was only focused on my unborn child rather than my husband. I didn't get closure. I thought about writing her a letter, but it felt like it would be rubbing it on her face. Also, I had no intention to tell my daughter about our past. It's in the past. It shouldn't affect her. We were having this conversation at 2 a.m. I know Anna would be asleep by then. She told me at that day she was coming to our room to ask for some meds for her headache. That's when she heard us talking. Yes, I am in therapy. My husband divorced Mary right after I told him that I was pregnant. He was a good husband and a good father to her. How is his past relevant to her life? He never taught our daughter to cheat. He gave her a pep talk right before her wedding that loyalty is a huge part in a marriage. I know he failed to keep it in his first marriage, but he has changed a lot. He had fertility problems, although I was quite fertile. Due to his intense desire for a child, he became very depressed. I was willing to do everything for him. I never applied too much pressure. I assured him that no matter what, I still adore him. Up until he told me one day that he had got another woman pregnant. He has been cheating on me since we started trying again. I knew her because she worked in a bakery where my husband often goes. Now I know why. My heart was shattered. We argued and he told me he wants to be with her because it only seems logical to stay with the mother of his child. I was really angry at both of them. He made another woman pregnant while his wife, who was also struggling with conception, was just praying that she gets a baby. I really hated seeing them together. That woman, let's call her B, would sometimes come to our divorce hearings and stay outside. It just hurt to see my husband being loving and caring towards another woman and rubbing her pregnant belly. After the divorce, I moved out of town and went to live with my parents. I was in deep depression and couldn't concentrate on anything. My father owned a small restaurant in my hometown, and that's when I met my now husband, Bill, 53M. We used to go to high school together. We chatted a bit and then he asked me out on a date. We dated until I got pregnant with my son, and that's when we decided to tie the knot. Besides our son, we also have twin daughters. We moved back into the same town after our marriage because Bill got a really good job offer there. I thought living in the same town would haunt me, but everything has been fine. I actually bumped into my ex 15 years ago while I was on picnic with my family. He apologized. I forgave him because there is no point in holding a grudge. We went our separate ways and never contacted. Few days ago, I got a message from a girl asking me if I knew my ex-husband. I was shocked. She was his and B's daughter, let's call her A. A told me she knew that her dad had an affair with her mom and that she wants to meet me and apologize. I was kinda hesitant. I wasn't sure if I want to meet her. But my husband told me to just talk to her once. Maybe I will get an actual closure. I invited her to my house. She looks just like her mother except for her nose. She sat down and cried that she was cheated on by her husband. She was suicidal after that, and recently she found out that she was conceived because my husband had an affair with her mother. She was saying sorry and begging me to forgive her. Before meeting her, a bad part of me wanted to ridicule her. But now I just see myself in her. I was her 25 years ago. She said she doesn't know why she met me, but she knows I was the only one who can understand. I really felt bad for her. I just hugged that poor girl who was bawling her eyes out. I cried too. I told her that she is an amazing woman. It is not her fault that she was cheated on. It was her husband's. We sat and talked for a while. She told me how she was angry when she got to know that her mom and dad hurt me. Now she sees her mom as a homewrecker and her dad as a cheater. The very things that caused her to lose her marriage. Honestly, I know most people would say I should feel proud, but I do not. She is obviously struggling with something. It must be hard for her to know how she was conceived. I don't want her to punish her parents. Moreover, I don't want her to punish herself. What they did was wrong, but they surely loved her with all they got. They gave her a good life. I couldn't bring myself to hate her. I asked her to stay for dinner. My kids were good to her. So was my husband. I packed her some leftover and some of my homemade cookies. She asked me if she could keep in contact. I said sure. Me and my husband are moving out soon. Our son is in college and our daughters will be off to college this year. We are planning to sell our place and move back to our hometown. So until then we can meet, but I wanted to establish boundaries. It is just unbelievable. 25 years ago, I was cursing her for destroying my house. But now, I feel nothing. She is a good girl who has a good heart. I don't know many people who would want to correct the mistakes of their parents. She did. I am willing to help her. I don't know if it is good or bad. Or is it some scheme she is playing? But we will see. Edit, for some reason, I cannot post comments. They are getting deleted. I know a lot of you asked if the child is actually his. It is his. If he got a paternity test done or not. But a lot of feature on A's was similar to my husband's. Like her nose, her crooked teeth, her dimples. She had broad shoulders like my ex-husband, and B was really petite. So, I do think A is actually my ex's biological child. He just got lucky. As far as I know, they have no other children. Edit 2, it amazing how small the world is. Someone sent me a similar post, but from B's side. She posted on another subreddit asking for help with her daughter, who is in a similar situation as A. I don't know that is the same woman as her. It could be someone different in a similar situation. Anyways, I don't want you guys to hate that person. She is a mother in distress. She may have made mistakes, but she seems to be regretful for that as well. So, do not hate her for that. If I can forgive her, then you should too. Comments. Debbie. Yep, I felt this one hard. When I was a young adult, my dad had an affair and ended up leaving mom for his affair partner. Fast forward about 25 years and my then husband cheated and left for his affair partner. I am thankful my father had died a few years before. In my pain, I wanted my daddy to comfort me and tell me my now ex was a terrible human being, except daddy had done almost precisely the same thing. At that point, my anger turned against my father. Had he been around and attempted to comfort me, I have little doubt I could have held back the judgmental words. You think you were right to hurt my mother like this, why do I deserve better? Selene. This was a really powerful post to me. I didn't go back and read the original comments, but I do think that when someone cheats or just generally does something shitty, they often forget that they can't predict or control consequences that may show up down the line years later. I've known some people who have done some shitty things in their younger years. In some cases, it felt like something that I could be okay with. In other cases, it's a case that while I don't think that person deserves a sad and shunned life, I can't be their friend. If I were the first OP's friend, gonna call her Bethany, since second OP called her B, I don't think I'd stop being her friend when this came out, but I would tell her that she's gonna need to do some hard work around understanding that her relationship with her daughter will probably never be the same. Anna won't ever forget what she did, and even if she forgives her, she's going to remember what her parents did, and that will permanently color her perception of them. Bethany and her husband probably need individual and couples therapy, and maybe even some family therapy sessions with Anna to get through this. At the very least, I think they're going to need to have some really hard discussions with Anna when she's ready to talk, and accept that Anna's relationship with them may come with some heavy boundaries now. Cheating is just one of those things that, especially if it involves a baby/babies, is going to live on forever for some people. And that's okay. I guess it's okay too for the people who don't think it's that big a deal. I'm not going to tell someone else how to feel. But for those who do think it's that big a deal, well, the cheaters need to be cognizant of that and come to terms with it.